debt. We're talking about this. We had a discussion with Chris Hipkins, and we were arguing about debt. You know, we had COVID debt, but then we got used to that debt, and then we just kept going. There's good debt and bad debt. And my point to him was, if you're gonna take on debt, you might as well be paying down a house and not buying a Ferrari. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So this morning I spoke to NZ Herald business editor-at-large Liam Dann. We spoke about how New Zealanders are well on their way to a collective $1 trillion in debt in the next few years. At the current rate of growth, we'll hit that in 3 years, in fact. And the biggest part of that debt is mortgage borrowing related to housing. That's just over $377 billion. So that comes as no surprise, does it? Because we've known for a long time that Kiwis, we need to buy houses as investments. That's all we need to do. And for example, our home ownership rate is far greater than Germany. They've got a massive renting culture there. But what do the Germans do with their money? They invest it, they put it into stocks, they put it into their superannuation, they get the country moving. And that's probably what we have to think about going forward, is to moving our investments in different places. Because putting everything into your housing isn't an amazing point to make. So businesses borrowing barely lifted in the last year, and that's not amazing news for the economy. They typically borrow to invest in new equipment that will improve productivity or to expand taking on staff to grab more of that market share. They've been slowing down a bit, which is a bit iffy. But none of that has been, they haven't done that in the last year. So New Zealand's debt, like I said, compared to, say, the GDP of the UK or Japan, that's often near about 100% of GDP, or Japan's actually even more, about 150% of GDP, say. So us floating around, the 40-50 mark isn't too bad in an international context.
But earthquake prone, weather related thing. We need a bigger buffer, eh?
We need that rainy day fund.
Yeah.
And I said to Liam, we had a discussion about, well, how do we get that rainy day fund? It's like when you're living paycheck to paycheck, and then people say, no, you should have 3 months saved just in case your car breaks down. And you're sitting there like, well, I need to eat. So it's like, what do we do?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Well, what do we do, right?
Well, I don't know. That's what your podcast is about, presumably.
You have to listen.
Yeah, well, we will now. Spend less on hair crimpers. That's what I'd do.
I bought this 10 years ago. I found it in my house at the weekend. Leave me alone.
Chelsea Daniels, host of the Front Page podcast.